We did it. We beat the rain.
Test, 1, 2, test. Okay. All right, check, check.
Beth. Hey. How you doing?
Getting wet?
I did. Yeah. I was here during setup and it was pouring.
All right, it looks like it's going to be a great turnout.
Yeah, I think so.
It's all
Got to do great.
yeah, tiny.
Yeah, the rain worked out.
Allison coming.
She's working. I kind of didn't want Dottie to be here, and Trevor stayed over last night, and they stayed up till freaking 6 in the morning. So, yeah.
Good deal.
Tina should be around somewhere.
Okay, let's go.
Just like the river,
God, I haven't prepared anything.
It's up to you.
Oh, God. Sure, throw me in there.
Okay.
Throw me in, coach.
It'll be towards the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then say it's my country. I've been 100 years or more of slave driving, sweat, and work for money. This is my
I do have my tie-dye I did at home. We got drenched in Performance Creek last week. Like, I had to take my money out, so like, I got like 3 layers on it. Sweating like that. Thank you for letting me get my phone. Oh yeah. Invite me in, is that right? Alright. Alright. Thank you. You have a good day. Oh, you too. Actually, I think when we came here, not like self-help.
That's right.
How long it'll last? I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry.
I got you good time.
If anyone is here from Indivisible and would like to come up and say a word. I look out on Bloomington today and my heart is filled with love. We are here today to use our voice for change. If we have some friends from Indivisible, hello, Shelley Oder. Hello. Talking about consistently using your voice to make change. Right there, I'm a huge fan of you. Thank you. We have Brenda here. If she'd like to come up. Anybody would like to say a word? If not, we're going to start with the #1 best song to sing on a day like today. Woody Guthrie saw this coming. Woody Guthrie wrote this song for today. Your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. As I was walking through the ribbon of highway, I saw below me that endless skyway. I saw above me that endless valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land is made for you and me. For joining me today. Paul Birch makes change every day. Now's the time to embrace that folk music side of who you are. Now's the time to use your voice and use your choice and make that change. We didn't want kings when we started this country, and we sure as hell don't need them right now. And rambled, I followed my footsteps to the parking sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me that voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. The sun comes shining as I was strolling, the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling. The fog was lifting and a voice came chanting. This land was made for you and me. All of us, this land was your land. This land was my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Just like Woody and Pete Seeger said, we're singing all the verses. As I was walking, I saw a sign there, and that sign said, no trespassing. But on the other side, that sign didn't say nothing. Now that sign was made for you and me. Yes, it was. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf people resisting, and some are grumbling, and some are wondering if this stand is still made for you and me. But it is. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream border. This land is made for you and me. Yes. This land was made for you and me. Yes, Bloomington. No kings. No kings. No kings. This is our democracy. All right. Shelley, did you have something you wanted to say today? Let's bring up our elected official.
Thank you for warming us up. I'm Shelley Yoder, and I have the greatest honor to serve you in the Indiana State Senate. I'm going to get us warmed up for the speakers who are coming up. Who does this country belong to? Who holds the power in a democracy? Do we bow to billionaires? Do we answer to kings? What do we want? Liberty and justice for all. Liberty and justice for all. Liberty and justice for all. If you came here today because something deep in your gut tells you that something is off in this country, that this is your first protest, or your second, or your 100th. If you came here because you know in your bones that this country was not built for kings, but for people, not for crowns, but for community, not for dictators, but for democracy, welcome home. Because this is what democracy looks like. We are here to say, no kings, no tyrants, no strong man in robes or suits or pulpits or golden towers. We are not subjects. We are citizens. And we will not bow. We will not yield. We will not let our flag be folded in fear or our Constitution be crumpled under the boots of billionaires. We will not hand our country, our children to a country where power answers only to profit, where truth is twisted, and where freedom is sold to the highest bidder. We say, no way, no more. We say no more. We say no more. We are here today to say, let justice roll down like waters, righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. We are here to say that this land is for the free, not the land of the fearful. This is not the land of the silent, not the land to be bought and sold. We are here to say power to the people. We are not here to say power to the palace. So let's raise our voices, Bloomington. Let the courthouse behind us hear us. Let the State House in Indianapolis hear us. And let 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue hear us. Let every place where injustice arises hear us. that we are many, but we resist as one. So no kings, no crowns, just us. And we are more than enough. Liberty and justice. Liberty and justice. Liberty and justice. Let's get to work.
I would like to call for a moment of silence. In Minnesota, Melissa Hortman and her husband have been killed, according to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. They have been shot down in what is apparently a targeted attack politically, and of course it's being investigated. There are 2 politicians that were just killed in Minnesota just today, and so I'm calling for a moment of silence. Melissa Hortman and her husband. Melissa Hortman is, and I'm not a public speaker, so I apologize. She's a Democratic state politician that has been killed today. And all I'm asking is for maybe 1.5 minutes of silence. Thank you. I am asking for a moment of silence for the 2 politicians who were just killed in Minnesota today. Thank you. We cannot let violence win. We must stand for love in this country and for everybody who lives here.
Come on up. I'm not sure that we're right.
No, they're not mine.
Hi, my name is Allison, and I'm with a little group called Call to Sing. We have a placard that shows, never mind, it's in the audience, and it's called To the Number and Sing. If we're on Facebook, please look for us. Please look for us on Facebook and come and join us. If you want to sing with us, come join us sometime and just contact us. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn a song. We're going to steal it from the 1960s protest civil rights movement, and it's called Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around. And I'm going to teach it to you, but we're then going to insert things like Ain't Gonna Let No King Turn Me Around. So you be thinking about things to insert there and yell them out for us, and we'll sing them with the group. Okay, this is how it goes. The beginning goes, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Okay, we're gonna stop there. It sounds like some people out there know this song, and that's great. So the next part goes, I'm gonna keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Okay. Louder, I can't. Sorry, that's about as good as it gets. Okay, let's go for it. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom lands. No kings, ain't gonna let no kings turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no kings turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Your ideas. Your no. Donald Trump. Ain't gonna let Donald Trump turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let Donald Trump turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. One more. Ain't gonna let no racism turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no racism turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna appear a couple more times, so keep your singing voices moist and healthy.
All right, Chrissy, if you're here, Chrissy Gills, if you're here. I do want to tell you guys a little bit about who I am. My name is J.C. Clemens. I'm the president and founder of HUMAC, Hoosiers for Original Music. And we support folk singers in the state of Indiana, and we bring their voice out on the national and international level so people can find out what's going on here in our Hoosier state. One thing about me that you should know is potentially next month I will be without a job. Thanks to the big beautiful bill, they are going to end a beautiful 60-year program that funds trade employment for people who are marginalized and disadvantaged. Some of my students are students who aged out of the foster system, who depend on Job Corps for a place to stay, an education, and a bootstrap program. All they want to do is get jobs as electricians and cement workers and bricklayers in the unions that are on our campus. And they're going to be ending that program. That is potentially happening. We need you to hashtag Save Job Corps. My students are my heart. I care so deeply for them. Many of them, this is their only shot they will have at avoiding a life of minimum wage jobs. I've seen students leave Job Corps making $30, $35, and $40 an hour that came onto center with nothing but a grocery bag full of their own clothes. Thank you. Job Corps is a worthwhile program. It is a very, very good, safe place for many students who come from very dangerous places. It's a place where students come from rural communities and from inner city communities. I'm from Martinsville, Indiana. That means my family's from Kentucky. You want to know what that means? That means they came up in the Great Migration, and they came up here and they got jobs in the union, and that brought us out of sharecropping. I am a granddaughter of sharecroppers. Our family was brought out of sharecropping through unions. We stand with the unions. Unions who are opening their doors to people who are coming across the border who want to work. That's all they're asking for, is the same opportunity that my grandpa got to feed his 11 kids up from Hazard, Kentucky. That's all they're asking for. They're not criminals. They're workers. They need to be treated that way and respected. They need to be given citizenship so that they can get the same things that we're all asking for. Some peace, some quiet, and a little bit of land. All right, Chrissy, you ready? How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for coming back out today. I see a lot of familiar faces, but I see a lot of new people too, so this is really exciting. If this is your, like they said, if it's your first protest, your second, your fifth, your 100th, okay, I won't touch it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. There's a lot of bad going on in the world today, and it's not often that you get to come out and be a part of something good too. So today's event is twofold. We're saying hell no to these kings, who they think they are. We didn't want kings in 1776 when we started this country, and we sure as hell don't want them now. But this next part is the most important part. Do not let your activism begin and end with this protest today. This is not the hard work. The hard work comes when we talk to our neighbors, when we have those difficult conversations at the kitchen table, when we call our state representatives, when we show up for our neighbors, when we participate in civil disobedience when necessary. So thank you guys for being part of the good. We have a lot of great local organizations that have been impacted by the incoming administration, and they need our support, folks. So make sure you find your way to these tables and tents over here on the east side of the building to connect with some really good organizations. We've got educators, we've got people defending refugee and immigrant neighbors. Please contact these organizations and figure out what everybody has a part to play. And not everybody is going to show up in the same way. So it's very important that we find our niche and you just go for it. Because, you know, you guys did the hard part by coming out here today in this horrible weather. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a round of applause just for showing up today. And obviously, nobody does this, nobody rows this boat alone. I'm very grateful to, I probably should have said, I'm the vice chair of our local Democratic Party. And we are very lucky to have the assistance of Indivisible, South Central Indiana, and 5051 help us put this all on today, get the chairs, do all of the organizing. So big thank you to Jane and Sean over here. Okay. All right. I'm going to hand the mic over to Jane from Indivisible. Oh, I'm so sorry. I lied. I am going to hand the mic over to Sean from 5051.
All right, need to get into some safety instructions real quick. First off, do not go into the streets. I heard some talk of it. Don't do it. Sidewalks are fine. This is a 100% non-violent and peaceful protest. We are a 100% non-violent movement. This current administration would love for clashes and violence to justify. This current administration would love for clashes and violence to erupt at our protest in order to justify calling in state and national authorities. Do not give them that justification. Just as we have the right to protest, so do counter-protesters. So please do not engage with hecklers, agitators, and counter-protesters. If something is happening around you that makes you feel uncomfortable, move away calmly and please find a member of our safety team. Please be aware of your surroundings and know where safe exits are located. Members of our safety teams will have orange armbands, and some will also be wearing high visibility vests. If you or someone by you is experiencing a medical emergency, the medic and first aid station is located on the west side. Our AMT, right there, Chris, red vest. We also have a cooling and respite station also on the west side. In the event that you need to exit quickly, please utilize the steps at the southeast, southwest, and northwest corners, or from the ground level at the northeast corner and central north. In case of severe weather, hail or lightning, please take shelter at Fountain Square Mall. They have 3 floors over which we can spread out. If it fills, we can spread out to the parking garage using the walkway. Also, please don't take the chains down on the south side walkways unless it's an emergency. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jane Silva. I'm with Indivisible South Central Indiana. I'm here today with prepared comments that I am not going to give you because I am mad as hell, and I'm just going to talk very briefly because we're behind schedule because we have so many great speakers and musicians here to share why we're here. We are here for one day. This one day is not going to save our democracy. We need to get to work. There are 3 registration tents behind you in the blue. Bloomington 5051, the Monroe County Democrats, and Indivisible of South Central Indiana. We came together to make this possible. We came together to work together even though we don't agree on everything. What we agree on is that we must save our democracy so that we can live, we must save our democracy so we can live another day in freedom, and then we can fight like hell with each other about policy. We need to be uncomfortable. We are going to work with the right and the left, anyone who is out there ready to save our country. There are people getting disappeared. There are people getting tortured. We are in a luxurious position. We are free right now, and we get to be here and get a little wet. Families are being destroyed. We don't have the luxury to let our petty differences get in the way. We need to buck up, get uncomfortable, and get to work. In addition, we have not-for-profits and other groups and entities in our community that right now are under attack. They are being defunded. They are having to clean their websites and their documents of the word gender. We don't have the luxury to stand by and not get to work. So there's the Community Impact Fair to my left. Please go visit them. Volunteer, donate, get involved. We need everybody in this fight. Please go to any or all of our organization's registration tables. Sign up. We will get you busy. We're not going to be perfect. We're all volunteers. We have no money. That is not going to stop us. I have 3 asks of you. Now I'll go to my notes. Before you leave today, promise me, promise yourself, promise our country, promise the immigrants that are being disappeared that you're going to do something. Yes! What I ask you to do today is sign up at one of those registration tables. Indivisible South Central Indiana will get your butt to work. The Monroe County Democrats will put your butt to work. And Bloomington 5051 will put your butt to work. We need all our butts to work. We're not in competition with each other. We're working together. 2, visit the community impact tables. Meet the local heroes that are being attacked and are still doing their jobs. Still serving people. Still making sure people have food. They're taking away lunches. I heard someone say that they're using the F word like a comma. And unfortunately, it's true right now. I apologize. And I also want you to have some fun. We, the people, will not have our joy, our humanity taken from us. Love one another. Work together. Put aside your differences. And if you want to memorize this or memorialize this day and be able to share it with all your friends and family, go to the We the People banner photo booth. Get your picture taken with the We the People banner. Sign the banner. Yes. And then send it out. Spread the message. This is not enough. We have to get everyone in this fight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your work in the days ahead.
We love you, Jane. Thank you.
All right, we got another great musical group.
Okay. We're going to bring Paul Birch up here, but I do want to say it warms my heart to be standing here and looking out on this sea of devoted people who are standing up for justice, peace, and the democracy that we all know we deserve and love. Thank you so much for turning out today. We have some more music coming up for you. Paul Birch.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Birch. Happy to be a part of this gathering, this important gathering. This first song I'm going to sing is called Mar-a-Lago. I wrote this song after the January 6th event, and one of the things that maybe shocked you as much as it shocked me was the number of Christian images, the number of Bibles, the number of the whole Christian nationalism thing. And as you know, part of the reason we're here today is because people from my faith tradition put this guy into power. 80% of people who call themselves evangelical Christians put this guy into power, and it is the strangest marriage that I will never, ever, ever understand. Because the gospel I read, the Bible I read says that we're to love God and love all people who are made in God's image. And that's something that this guy neither loves God nor does he love people, and that's a huge problem. So this is Mar-a-Lago. Somewhere along the line, things went so wrong. Somewhere along the line, we lost our way. In the name of freedom and liberty, we slept with power and just like the scripture says, we forfeited our souls. Now once upon a time, we chased the sun, and we prayed thy kingdom come, thy will be done. See the cross wrapped in stars and stripes, gotta get back some national pride. With God, guns and guts as our motto, and the Messiah we followed, we got a photo opportunity at Mar-a-Lago. Once upon a time, we carried a cross. Yeah, but it got a little heavy. No gains, all loss. You see, history loves the winners, forgets a bunch of forgiven sinners. Is it so bad to take a big bite of a sizable slice of the American pie? Somewhere along the line, things went so wrong. Yeah, somewhere along the line, we lost our way. Fear as our weapon of choice, we demonize each dissenting voice. Our leader has asked us to fight and to not compromise. What a photo opportunity. Now we can act with impunity. We love people just like us. We know the ballot box got stuffed with God, guns, and guts as a motto for the Kool-Aid they swallowed. They got a photo opportunity at Mar-a-Lago. But I remember, remember, this is the important part. The first will be last, the last will be first. The weak will be strong and the powerful cursed. The least will be great, the prideful will fall. The meek inherit the earth at the final curtain call. The first will be last, the last will be first. The weak will be strong and the powerful cursed. The least will be great, the prideful will fall. The meek inherit the earth at the final curtain call. Appreciate that, thank you. You know, there's nobody in this crowd that doesn't have a friend or family member that you've probably been alienated from because of our political divide. And that's a really tragic thing. It's true of me. My guess is it's true of you. And this is a song that is a little bit less political and a little bit more about how we reconcile with people across differences, how we learn to be bridge builders, how we learn to be listeners, how we learn to ask questions, and actually do important discourse in this country, which we have no idea evidently how to do. But What a great example of that today. Thank you for being peaceful. Thank you for caring. Sometimes I actually wonder, am I alone? Am I the only person that sees this stuff? So this is super encouraging to me. This is called Reunion Song. Two brothers don't talk anymore. Nobody's quite sure what for. Something got said or something was done. 15 years later, the silence has won. Two brothers don't talk anymore. It's harder to build bridges than walls, and walls don't keep out much after all. You're stuck here with yourself and all those might have beens, and the Christmases they roll by as you turn the page again. It's harder to build bridges than walls, but one day they might put it to rest and leave the past behind, far as the east is from the west. Now the sun is sinking low and the night will soon descend. Yeah, it's time for reunion. It's time for the silence to end. It's time for reunion, time for the silence to end. Yeah, it's harder to forgive than to hold a grudge. It's even harder to forgive the ones you love. That heavy load you carry is longing for release, till we say the words I'm sorry and they're returned and they're received. It's harder to forgive than to hold a grudge. One day they might put it to rest, leave the past behind, far as the east is from the west. Now the sun is sinking low and the night will soon descend. Yeah, it's time for reunion, time for the silence to end. Now the sun is sinking low and the night will soon descend. It's time for reunion, time for the silence to end. It's time for reunion, time for the warfare to end. Thanks a lot, really appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul. All right. One of the groups that we know is being hit hardest are our public school teachers. Not only are they're jacking up the classroom sizes, they're cutting their funding, they're trying to tell them what they can and can't do, they're trying to get them to put the 10 Commandments up in the classroom, but you can't talk about your husband or your wife if you're gay. God forbid somebody be different than the people that they're learning from. So we are very grateful to have Lisa Kroll from the Monroe County Educators Association to talk more about the impact.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lisa Kroll, and I'm a proud advocate for public education here in Indiana. I'm here today officially as an elected officer of the Monroe County Education Association, but I'm also a proud elementary school teacher in Monroe County Community School Corporation. I have taught in the classroom for over 10 years. So I stand here today, not just as an educator or as a community member, but as someone who is deeply concerned for the direction that our state is heading when it comes to public education. Indiana students, teachers, and families deserve better. And it's time we speak up, push back, and fight forward against policies that are actively harming public education. Let's talk about the reality. Our state legislators are undermining public education in several harmful ways. First, they are continuing to divert public dollars to private and charter schools through an ever-expanding voucher program. This year alone, Indiana is spending nearly $450 million on private school vouchers, many going to families who are already attending private schools. That's money that is directly being taken from our public school classrooms. Secondly, they are underfunding public schools for decades. And even when local communities like ours step up to fill the gap, the state still finds ways to take more. Here in Monroe County, our community passed a local referendum to provide additional funding for our public schools. That's local tax money approved by voters, approved by you all, to pay for smaller class sizes, higher teacher salaries, and critical student supports. But here's the problem. The state legislature has passed policies that effectively neutralize the impact of our referendum dollars. Because of how state funding is calculated, our increased local support doesn't bring additional help. It just allows the state to send less. It's like we're bailing water out of a sinking ship while the state punches new holes in the bottom. The current reality is that over the next 3 years here at MCCSC, we will not receive $17 million that you, our taxpayers, have already voted to share and support our corporation. We're working hard to invest in schools, but state lawmakers are taking away the benefits of our own community's choice to support education. That's just not wrong. That's disrespectful to every Monroe County voter who said yes to our schools. Thirdly, they are disrespecting the teaching profession. They've passed laws that limit collective bargaining, pushing top-down mandates, and promoting punitive testing systems. They've allowed politically driven attacks on teachers, portraying us as the enemy instead of the professionals we are, who have dedicated our lives to helping children succeed. On April 14th, I took a personal day from school. I had to create sub-plans and work for my students to do so that I could go to the State House and speak to my elected officials, my state representative and my senator. That is, speaking to our elected officials is something that we all have the right to do in our democracy. And while I was there rallying with many others from around the state, one of Indiana's state representatives, Andrew Ireland, He was on the floor in the House of Representatives, and he proposed that school corporations who allow their teachers to do as I had done and was doing right in that moment should be punished. He rescinded his proposal, but that was after the 1,000 of us who were there at that moment heard about it, and we immediately flooded the House chamber with postcards about our concerns. All this is actually driving great teachers away from this profession that we are so passionate about. Finally, the state legislators are pushing legislation that silences teachers and restricts what we can teach, especially around race, gender, and history. These efforts don't support students. They actually censor truth and they stifle learning. The real impact. Indiana is one of the highest teacher turnover rates in the nation. Fewer young people are actually choosing to become teachers. And students in underfunded schools, including many right here in Monroe County, are being shortchanged, despite the will of the voters. Parents, pay attention to what is happening in your students' classroom. Our class sizes are going to increase. Our supports are being cut. Our corporation, as have many around the state, will have to do less with less. Public education is a foundation, it's a foundation of a thriving and just society. And when it is under attack, we all lose. But there is good news. We can make a difference. You can push back, and you can fight forward. You need to get informed, and you need to spread the word. Many in our community don't realize how the state is undercutting our referendum. We need to talk to our neighbors. We need to write letters to local papers, and we need to share the truth online. We need, number two, we need to vote, and we need to hold those lawmakers accountable. School board elections are really important, but the real power over education policy lies in the State House. We must elect leaders who respect local decisions and who will fund public education fairly and transparently. We need to organize and support our local teacher associations. You need to attend school board meetings and State House hearings, and you need to advocate for a new funding formula that doesn't punish communities for stepping up. And finally, you need to be vocal and visible. You need to let our legislators know that Monroe County voters are paying attention. We will not stay silent while they undermine the future of public schools. Monroe County said yes to public education, but our voices and our dollars are being ignored by the State House. It's time to push back and push forward. Indiana's public schools are not failing. They are being failed. But we can change that. This is a movement moment. Let's stand together for our educators, for our children, and for the future of public education in Monroe County and beyond.
Back here with you.
If you have questions on how you can support Monroe County Education Association, we have a table set up over on this side of the courthouse, and we'd love to take your name and email so we can send you information. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Lisa. I'm sure you guys have noticed that it is raining and the sun is out. I think this is a good time to remember that two things can be true at once. You can be mad as hell, but also hopeful for a better future. And I think just by being here today, you guys are showing that both of those things are possible. Now, we're very lucky to live here in Bloomington, but we got to remember there's more to Monroe County than just Bloomington. And a lot of times those rural voices are overlooked, so I'm very fortunate to welcome Candace Templeton from Indiana Rural Voices.
I'm very old. It takes me a bit to get up here. I had a prepared speech, and I'm like, Jane, I really don't want to give it. Keep the microphone. I'm trying. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. We all want a thriving community and strong economy. You guys are so lucky here because you are kind of a blue marble in a Red Sea. In Greene County, where I'm from, we are a blue speck of sand in a lake. It's awful. We did stop on the way over here because someone at our meeting gave an impassioned speech about, well, everyone's always going to Bloomington and Indianapolis, and the problems are here. He was right. So I was expecting 4 people to show up at the Bloomfield Courthouse. 14 showed up. 15, I stand corrected. We want a strong economy and we want to prosper, but I'm going to talk to you today about the real impact of Trump's policies for my town in Greene County, which is bad. Beneath all these promises of economic growth everywhere else and the deregulation, these policies are damaging our local businesses. They're damaging yours too. It's just ours are quicker for the litmus paper and our environment. But let me start with the health care cuts. He has slashed over $11 billion in health care grants, directly affecting Indiana's public health infrastructure. Whoa. The Department of Health estimates a $40 million loss, which means fewer resources for vaccination programs. We all want to be vaccinated, right? Yeah. That's what I thought. And essential medical services. Greene County, like other little tiny counties, rely on these programs to keep us healthy. Without them, we're going to get more disease, and we need essential medical services. Greene County depends. We don't have doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs over there. We have nurse practitioners that are holding us together with bale wire and chewing gum. And if it wasn't for them, we'd be in a world of hurt. Our local area hospital is not the Mayo Clinic. At best, it's a triage spot. As a Greene County General Hospital, it's not the Mayo Clinic, but it can get a helicopter to get us here or to Indianapolis when something horrible happens. They're in threat of being closed. That means we are going to have to drive an extra hour to get the medical services that we have to have. Shame. 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 Okay, I've lost my spot now. See what you've done? Okay, the nursing situation for nursing homes, and I'm looking out amongst y'all, and I see a lot of wrinkles. And I can say that because I do too. But I have a girlfriend that works in a nursing home as a nurse, and because of the deregulation that Trump has put in place that the nursing homes actually wanted, they're going to reduce the staff size. She works 3 to 11 shift. There's 150 residents living in this facility. She is the only nurse. She has other people to pass pills for her. What is that going to tell you? This is where we're going. It is dangerous. Our industry in Greene County survives on infrastructure bills and so on and so forth. We depend on tourism for the Goose Pond wetlands, for our fishing. Our fishing is awesome, but he has deregulated. What is it? Crap, my mind's going blank. The environmental regulations. So now they're going to pump pollution into our land. Are you kidding me? Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Oh, now let's see where I've gone. Here we go. Services. Okay. Energy. Okay. So I'm asking you this. Is this truly the future that we want to have for rural Indiana? No. Trump's policies policies prioritize corporate interests over working class Americans, leaving the rural communities like ours to bear the burden. We deserve leaders who invest in our health, our jobs, and our environment. Our policies that make life harder for those that are already struggling. We can't do this. Let's stand together and demand a better America.
All right, are you guys still with me? All right, thank you. We know there are many, many groups under attack in our country, but one thing we don't think about is there is one marginalized group that anybody can join at any point in their life, and that is people with disabilities. And we know that people are coming, this administration is coming for the ADA. We know that they're trying to make things less accessible and harder for our folks who are already going through it. So we are very lucky to have the Mobility AIDS Lending Library here in Bloomington, Indiana, which provides free mobility aids for individuals with disabilities who may not be otherwise able to afford them. So I'm very grateful to have Susan from the mall, the Mobility Aids Lending Library, and I'm going to bring the mic down to her.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. She introduced me. I'm Susan. I'm the co-president and founder, put that a little away from, of the Mobility Aids Lending Library. And we are a nonprofit here since 2022. We provide free mobility aids and medical devices to anyone who needs them. We also accept donations of gently used mobility aids and devices when they are no longer needed. Our table, our booth, is the first one across from Samira, right on the corner. Come over there, scan the QR codes I'm going to tell you about now. I'm speaking to introduce them all, but also to ask you to take one specific disability rights action. Right now, if we don't do this by midnight tomorrow, the deadline is midnight tomorrow, there to enter your comments against the loss of disability access to federal and federally funded buildings. They want to take away all of the requirements that make federal and federally funded buildings accessible to people with disabilities. We have to enter comments on the government website before midnight tomorrow. Go to our booth right on the corner and scan the QR codes. They take you right to the page. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be an intellectual. All you need to do is say, don't take away funding for disability access to federal and federally funded buildings. It's really important. We're all going to be needing those ramps, those elevators, and anything to get us into federal post offices and every building there is at some point in our lives. I also want to introduce to you if you don't know already, about the whole principle of universal design. Do people know what universal design is? No. Universal design makes it possible for anybody of any ability and any age to access buildings, homes, offices, and parks. It's everything from parents pushing kids in strollers to neighbors helping you move a piano. Okay? This means ramping entrances and making everything something anyone can use. Universal design. We need it. Let's see. Further. Okay. Okay, I'm getting there. So this proposal that we need you to comment on by tomorrow night, it would eliminate the rule that buildings be accessible, and what it is it's a direct final rule, meaning it will automatically go into effect on July 15th unless people submit meaningful comments opposing it by the official deadline of tomorrow. The comment window closes tomorrow, and unless there's enough of a public outcry, the change will automatically go into effect in 1 month. I've never heard before of something like this called a direct final rule, but it exists now, and we have to oppose it. Please help flood the public record with strong opposition by midnight tomorrow. So scan the codes, and also please volunteer to help the mall provide free mobility aids to people who need them. We are an all volunteer-run organization, and there are only 3 of us, so we really need help. And we're located at the Monroe County Public Library here on Kirkwood and at the First Christian Church. We have all of our storage equipment there. So if anybody you know needs anything, contact us at the mall, okay? I think that's my 5 minutes. Great to see you all here, and keep on fighting.
All right, you guys, I want to let you know, Jason and I, when we moved back here home to raise our kids, we were looking for a place where we felt safe to raise our kids in Indiana, and that safe place was the UU Church in Bloomington. And the pastor that has cared for us and our family for over 20 years is here with us today, and I'm so proud to introduce him and the best part of Bill Breeden, Glenda. If you know, you know. There you go.
Just to clear up one thing, I'm not the pastor there anymore. I'm emeritus and retired. And we got a wonderful minister, wonderful staff, wonderful people. And Bloomington, you look beautiful. Tell you what, this is as good as I've ever seen Bloomington look. And I've been up on this courthouse, I don't know how many times, at least 1 or twice. It's never looked like this. And I want to tell you something about the Rural Summit and all that's happening. We were in Spencer, Indiana this morning with 100 people lining Highway 46. 100 people. That's in Owen County, Indiana. 100 people. And we've done this about 3 times so far. We had 50-some the first time in pouring down rain for 2 hours. We had 60 the second time in rain for 2 hours. And we had 100 there this morning. It's growing. It is growing. And you're a part of it.
So we're going to do a sing-along. So y'all sing along with us, so it'll be really good. It's easy. Ain't going to let nobody turn me around.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, no, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking. walking in the freedom land. Do it now. Ain't gonna let injustice turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let injustice turn me around. Ain't gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking into freedom land. I can't hear you. If you ain't singing, I'm gonna come out there and help you. All right, sing with us. Racism. Ain't gonna let racism turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let racism turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking into freedom land. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking into freedom land. We ain't gonna let no Trump in. Well, we can do that. We gotta do that. We ain't gonna let no Trumpers turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no Trumpers turn me around. We're gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking into freedom land. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up to freedom land. Hey, keep fighting, keep standing, keep saying no. We ain't gonna have a king in the United States. We haven't had one since '76, and we're not gonna have one this year, or next year, or the next. Fight, stand, go for peace. Thank you.
Jamie Broker.
Hey, Bloomington! We have kings here in the United States? Oh, hell no! In fact, this country started with a letter written to a king called the Declaration of Independence. And it specifically told that king where he could shove his taxes and his tyranny. The Declaration also says we all have the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, not just the billionaires. It says that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Well, it looks to me like right now, we the people do not consent. My name is Jamie. I served in the United States Marine Corps from 2001 to 2005. When I signed up, I was just 20 years old trying to find some direction for myself. And my time in the service ended up being one of the greatest and most important experiences of my life. Because I got to become friends with a bunch of truly amazing people from all over the country. People from all walks of life, all shades of skin, all genders and sexualities. We all had different reasons for being there. But we became one big family, and we always knew we had each other's backs, regardless of our differences. My battalion left for Iraq just a few months before the fall of Baghdad. We were field specialists, so we stayed mostly behind the action providing support. Altogether, I was overseas for 17 months between 2003 and 2004. For a few months out of that time, a group of us got the opportunity to get to know this crew of Iraqi construction workers. They were rebuilding a school, literally with just like bowls of water and plaster and just slapping walls together with their hands. We broke bread with them, we played soccer with them, and we listened to their stories. And some of those stories were so heartbreaking and so intense about the brutality of Saddam Hussein's regime. They told us about the destruction that they witnessed, the loved ones they lost, and the injuries they suffered. I remember one person telling me that he was so happy that Saddam was gone because now he could go out in public and tear up a picture of him without fear of being tortured or killed. And I can't even imagine carrying out an order to kill someone for tearing up a picture. But then I also never imagined the possibility of our military taking orders from a man, a criminal, who would rob and harm his own people. That being said, I want to take this time to remind my fellow veterans, active duty military, and police personnel that we swear an oath to support and defend the Constitution, first and foremost, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I really don't think that any of us go in with the mindset of protecting the property of billionaires or fighting their senseless wars for them. We do it to find something within ourselves, while also defending the lives and freedoms of our family and friends and neighbors. So I hope anyone who's serving right now will think real hard on why they signed up. Remember who it is they want to be protecting. And please, please have the honor, courage, and commitment to not obey cruel or corrupt orders out of your own fear. I think the most important thing I took from my experience in the Marines is that we're basically all the same. We just kind of poof into this world. And where we start off in our own journeys is just a matter of chance or dumb luck. When I agreed to speak here today, I didn't feel like I really had a choice. Because there are so many young people in my life who I love and adore. And when they come to me totally freaked out by what they see happening in our country right now, I see in them my younger self, wishing that the adults around me had been paying closer attention to the direction that our country was heading and gotten more involved. Because our kids are depending on us to protect and guide them so that each new generation can leave this world cleaner and freer and safer than it was the generation before them. We need to be asking ourselves what it is that we're really trying to do here. Because if one man can be above the law, then the laws don't really matter, do they? And it's all of us for ourselves. But if we're trying to build a society that we hope will one day evolve into something peaceful and civilized, then we need to be talking about how to achieve that goal for the long term. Because theoretically, we could be here until the sun explodes. So it feels like we got some time, right? But we need to come up with something better than what we're doing now. Because if we keep trying to maintain an economic system that is not only infinitely corruptible, but is also holding back progress while also killing our habitat, we're going to run out of time. We are running out of time. The Declaration of Independence also says, when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security. One of my favorite stories of all time is V for Vendetta by Alan Moore. And he said people shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. We can't keep being afraid of people who choose fear and greed over love and hope. People who waste resources and technology on building more efficient surveillance systems and killing machines rather than redesigning our infrastructure to be more efficient, humane, and sustainable for all of us. Who see our land as prime real estate and our bodies as cheap labor rather than seeing us as a melting pot of human beings who just want to learn and love and play. Whose only power over us is really just some bullshit numbers in a computer. So we need to stop acting like the isms are our only options for an economic system. We need to stop being afraid of words and start talking about their meanings. And we can't be afraid to start over and build something new, or nothing is ever going to change the way we the people need it to. And we need to stop being afraid of each other. None of us has to be here, but until all of us are equal, none of us are really free. E pluribus unum. Semper Fi, happy Pride. Thank you all for being here.
All right, everybody. We have Pablo and Ralph Ed. They are two members of the trio that features 4 players. CPR Revival, they are not a band. And we are so happy to have them here with us today. They are from Indianapolis. And they heard that we needed some musicians and some voices down here, and they came. They said, we are there. We're going to make this happen. I think it's important to look around and see that there are power in numbers, and there are numbers who vote, and we are going to be voting the dope out real soon.
All right, it's about time we had this thing going on. We've been waiting way too long for this. There's a song that I wrote goes out to George W. Maybe as far back as Robert McNamara. They shipped us out in '64. Said we're gonna fight a commie war. Uncle Sam never had a plan how to keep Uncle Charlie off that land. I was thinking, where in the hell is Vietnam? And how much killing can we stand? Taliban off our back. If we're ever gonna keep the old homeland free, better teach them all democracy. But is that the way it has to be? They're just tribal people now, can't you see? I say, oh, this war machine, it's gonna be the death of me. Oh, this war machine, it's costing us everything. Oh, this war machine, it runs on blood and gasoline. It runs on blood and gasoline. just like it was in Vietnam. We had that never-ending war in Afghanistan. For power, greed, and foreign oil. We watched Halliburton screw us royal. While the men still died on Mideast soil. But to the victor go the spoils. And I say, oh, this war machine is gonna be everything. Oh, this war machine is gonna be everything. Oh, this war machine, it runs on blood and gasoline. It runs on blood and gasoline. Runs on blood and gasoline. Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Gather around people wherever you roam, and know that the waters around you have grown, and it's deep and set. If the time for you is worth saving, then you better start singing or you sink like a stone, for the time you're changing. And critics who prophesize with your pen, they won't come the eyes that won't open again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still a spin. And the time who has been saving, for the losers now will never get away. For the time you're changing. Congressmen, senators, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he who is just will later be won. And the battle outside is raging. And loosen your windows and rattle your walls. For the time is changing. Mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize it is drawn, the curse it is cast. Someone now will later be last, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, for the first one now will later be last, and the times they are changing, and the times they are changing. Let's make it happen, folks.
All right, Sydney, you want to make your way up here? Well, they haven't arrested her for speaking out yet, folks, so I'd like us to put our hands together for our District 6 City Councilwoman, Sydney Zulick.
I'm a bit shorter than everyone else, so please bear with me. What's up, Bloomington? Okay, so I know this kind of thing can be stressful. There's a ton of people in here, so let's just take a minute to re-regulate our nervous system. I just want everyone to take a deep breath, think about the things they can feel, see, touch, re-regulate yourselves, because this is a long fight. Y'all, this administration wants us to get burnt out. They want us to get so overwhelmed with everything in the news that we become paralyzed with fear. But this is a movement and a moment that could never be controlled by fear-mongering, because we have something that they don't. Something they keep trying to steal from us. We have joy. We don't fuel ourselves with rage or ketamine. Hold on. We will fill our cups with joy and love and empathy for our neighbors. And while we're kicking and screaming and clawing for our rights back, we do so not out of hatred for the other side, but out of a deep, deep love for the people in this country, all of its people. So when you fight this fight, remember that what makes America great is not its military, it's not its millionaires, and it sure as hell ain't our president. What makes America great is its people. What makes America great is black trans women like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera leading the LGBTQ plus community through the Stonewall uprisings. Happy Pride, y'all! What makes America great is civil rights leaders like Malcolm X, who learned early on that if you want something done, you had better make some noise. So when we raise our voices, we do so with the courage and the conviction that Donald Trump's greed will never be able to fully overpower the will of the American people. Y'all, there will come a day when history knocks on our door and looks each of us in the eye, when our children and our children's children look up at us in 50 years and ask us what we did when the very foundations of our country began to crumble. So we will tell them that we fought tooth and nail against tyranny, but we will also remind them that we fought for the joy that they keep trying to steal. So just remember, y'all, if you want something done, you have better make some noise. Let's go get our shit back. All right,
Isaac, who's going to talk to you about the dangers of fascism.
I have a speech. I have a dream. Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Isaac. I've lived here in Bloomington and taught at political science at IU for around 40 years. It's great to see everybody. I've only spoken here in front of the courthouse one other time. It was a couple of days after 9/11. I spoke as one of the founding members of Bloomington United. The mayor was here. I spoke. And I spoke to a frightened and anxious group of Bloomingtonians. I spoke about the need to respect tolerance and human rights and to avoid demonizing and not rush to fear and not rush to violence. I spoke in the name of a simple democratic truth. As Bloomingtonians, we share a common place and a common fate. As citizens and as residents, because all of us here are not legally citizens, but they should have the same rights. We're responsible together for making a better world. In those days, people were afraid because our country had been attacked by an obscure group of foreigners based somewhere else. Today, we're again afraid, but the attacker is not obscure, and the threat is not, in any sense, external. Today, we're threatened, our freedom is threatened, our democracy is threatened by Donald Trump, the President of the United States, who is based not in the mountains and caves of Afghanistan, but in the White House. Boom. The events taking place all across the country today are taking place under the banner of no kings for a simple reason. Because Trump, with the aid of an exceptionally partisan administration, is today acting like a king by organizing a massive celebration of his birthday and of himself, a celebration that features an unprecedented display of military force on the streets of the Capitol. Boo, that's right. And while this military parade is going on, he has sent National Guardsmen and women and U.S. Marines on the streets of Los Angeles. Unprecedented. Trump is a megalomaniac who exults in dominating others. Boo! Trump regards the government and the entire country as his private property to be controlled and used to bring wealth to him and his family and friends. Boo! In many ways, Trump seems to truly believe the classic motto of that iconic absolute monarch, Louis XIV, L'État c'est moi. The state is me, I am the state. He thinks, only I could save us, he said. I was saved by God to make America great again, he said. Trump acts like a king. No kings. He acts like a king. And we're here to say very loudly, no kings, right? But in my brief remarks here, I'll be brief, I want to remind us all that Trump is not a king. He's not. And while he inherited his wealth, he did not inherit the political power that he now wields to frighten and intimidate us. Trump is the elected president of the United States. I'm not saying this to justify him, believe me, just listen up. Well over 77 million citizens voted for him. After experiencing the COVID disaster and 2 impeachments and his civil and criminal convictions and a totally failed presidency, after all that, over 77 million of our fellow citizens elected him for a second time. It's a fact. And it's okay to boo. Right, we should boo. We also need to understand, and I want to make 2 points related to that are really, really important. I was asked here to speak about fascism. I'll speak very briefly about it. The first point is this. While monarchs can be dangerous, Trump is much more dangerous than any monarch, precisely because he was elected after a multi-year campaign that consisted of angry rhetoric and violent incitement and very promises to do exactly what he is doing. Trump successfully treated the 2024 presidential election like an American Idol television show, and the viewing audience voted him the winner. Think about that. Trump is an authoritarian populist, a master manipulator of mass media, of digital media, of public opinion. He claims the Declaration of Independence for himself, and his followers on January 6th claim to be the true American revolutionaries. He regards himself as the tribune and the leader and the avenger of supposedly real Americans who he defends against us, and against democracy. Trump is a populist in the same way that Mussolini and Hitler were populists. Like those mid-20th century fascist leaders, Trump is a fascist because he preys on fear, because he promotes xenophobia and racism and hostility, and because he incites violence. That is bad, bad, boo! He has used his popularity to take over the Republican Party, to purge all dissenters from that party and from our government, and to create a cult of personality. He has begun to bring media institutions to Media, yeah. Okay. It happens. I was at the Paramount Theater in 1964 when it happened to the Beatles. If it can happen to Paul McCartney and Ringo, it can happen to me. He has begun to bring media institutions to heel, universities to heel. We know about that. He has begun using the Justice Department to threaten and intimidate opponents. He has unleashed ICE, and in the past week, he subjected the country to something frighteningly close to martial law, and millions of our fellow Americans, residents, citizens, have been terrified and persecuted. And he has done all of this with very substantial popular support. I happen to be a political scientist. It's a fact. We are here together. We ought to be proud to be here together, determined to walk the talk of democracy together. But we must recognize that most Americans are not out today chanting "No Kings." That's a political reality that we must confront as we oppose it. Contending with Trump means contending not simply with Trump, but with a party and followers and a mass base, and many Americans who are not followers, but they're cowed into submission, or they're tired, or they're complacent. Everyone around. The danger is enormous, and our challenge is great because winning real popular support for an alternative is an uphill battle today. And this brings me to my second point, and I'm almost done. I appreciate the crowd. I'm playing tonight at the Orbit Room if you want to hear the Postmodern Jazz Quartet. All right. Yeah. My second point. Trump is a despotic demagogue, but he has not yet vanquished constitutional democracy. Not yet. Our democracy is plagued by numerous injustices. It is corrupt. It is in tatters. It is besieged. But it is not dead yet. Trump has attacked the courts, but the courts, at least in some places, are still doing their job. Trump and his allies have attacked the universities and the media, and they have cowed a great many prominent media and university institutions, including Indiana University, which under the current administration has worked hard to supplant Texas and Florida as the state institutions, the state university of MAGA. It's an outrage. It's an embarrassment. But independent media and independent educational institutions persist. Academic freedom and press freedom are not dead yet. Here at IU and elsewhere, we resist this. Trump and his allies would love to destroy, to eviscerate, to eliminate the Democratic Party. The The Democratic Party is a weakened party. In many ways, in my own personal opinion, it's a pathetic party, a shell of what it once was. But it's an alternative party. In real dictatorships, alternative parties don't exist. We have an alternative party. I'm not a Democratic activist or anything. But the point is, the opposition is important. The Democratic Party, its opposition to Trumpism is important. In Bloomington, in Indiana, in the entire country. Trump has opponents in Congress. He has opponents in the media. He has opponents in legal institutions. He has opponents in universities, in civil society. The recent demonstrations against ICE and this, which is going on across the country, such things are taking place because we still have certain freedoms and rights, and there are still spaces of dissent and opposition, and there are still forms of solidarity and resilience and resistance that are available to us. And we need to seize these democratic means, fragile means, limited means, endangered means, and we need to use them to defend and to deepen our democracy. I'm almost done. It's up to us to seize hold of these democratic means and to use them to say no to kings and no to despotic demagogues who win elections. No, no. And to say yes to democracy. And yes to constitutional democracy and the rule of law. Think, write, speak, listen, organize, assemble, petition,
resist,
demand, resist, vote, 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 vote locally, state elections, right. Yeah, vote. Trump's president, at least until until January 20th, 2029. Think about that. It's a terrifying thought. And maybe beyond that. The Democrats can take back the House in 2026. It's possible. We don't know what's possible. Voting is simply one element of active democratic citizenship. So act. Only we can save us. This is a good start. Let it not be the end. Thank you.
Okay, we are here together to fight fascism. We came together non-violently and to abide by the rules. We're not abiding by illegal rules. We are abiding by legal rules. If you are in the street right now, you are disrupting our work. Get out of the street. Join us in non-violent protest. We must work together. Get out of the street and join us in non-violent, peaceful protest.
I think I'll go get in the street.
Thank you.
Non-violent. You take a lot of streets?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. This is called Walnut and College.
I'm glad I could help.
What's that? Yeah? So? I'll get arrested. I've been arrested before. I was a Mayday demonstration in 71.
Okay.
Arrest me.
thing, man.
Yeah. We really need people to come out of the street. Yeah, we really need people to come out of the street, join us in the courthouse lawn, join us in the courthouse square. This is the kind of stuff they look at when they like to point the finger and they like to say, oh, look what those people did. We are not going to be those people. Join us in the courthouse square. Do not be in the street. Let's not be that guy, all right? It's an outside group. It is not part of our group. That group that is in the street is an outside group that is not part of our group. We are so grateful for your courage. We encourage you to join us at the courthouse. Well, not us.
Absolutely. Okay, please. It is courageous that people are in the street.
We want to thank everybody who came out today and is here with us in the courthouse lawn and has decided to come and take a stand against what is going on in this country, because we are here to protect our neighbors and we are here to defend one another and keep each other safe. So thank you for your righteous indignation, for being upset, for coming out and showing that this is not the solution, that the people are stronger than the power. And to get us going some more, we've got Charlotte Zitlow, and while her voice is tiny, her force is mighty, and we are going to hear from her because she knows firsthand what it's like to live under a fascist dictatorship with tanks just right around the corner.
Good afternoon, or evening, I should know what came first. I'm so glad to be here today with so many of you, because you're very important. And I'm going to speak not about you, but thank you for coming, because I want to speak about the people who are not here. In 1968, I lived in Czechoslovakia. That was after the Prague Spring. Prague Spring was a restoration of democracy to Czechoslovakia. But before we arrived in Slovakia, the Russians came first with their tanks and their soldiers and their determination to kill the Prague Spring forever. And so we lived through the Prague Spring in Czechoslovakia in 1968 and 69. And let me tell you, that the thing that worries me right now is that we do not understand, not you people understand, that there's so many people in this country who do not understand what that means. That means suddenly the rules change every day. You never know what's going to be legal or no, it's not going to be legal from day to day because the rules change. So we were able to go to Vienna anytime we wanted to, which was 40 miles away. Nobody else that we knew in that entire city of 300,000 could go to Vienna. We could buy anything in Vienna we wanted, and we could smuggle it back into Czechoslovakia. Nobody paid much attention because we were guests of the government. So we lived a good life, but we saw what was going on there. And what was going on was, as I said, the rules changed. And people who were ill, when they went to the hospital, had to take their own bedding and their own food, for example. And nothing was available for sure to anybody. The stores had nothing on the shelf. And things were, and if you went to a store and saw something in the window, they would say, well, that's not for sale. But and people were being purged from their jobs. So it wasn't, we were lucky, but it was a bad situation. And it actually got worse after we left. But it didn't happen all together. The Russians came in over a bridge in Bratislava where we lived. And they came over and students went out and covered the tanks with flowers and said, "You're our friends," but they spoke in Russian because everybody did. And they tried to stop them and they got shot and they got killed. And those people that got killed, many of them students, were buried by the university. And when we got there were lots of flowers on the ground where the people had been buried. And one day we came downtown and the wall was plastered over. None of the memorials were there anymore because the government did not want anybody to remember people who'd been killed. So I worry when I talk to people, so many of us just are not thinking that what's going on now is serious. It can't hurt us. But it's serious. It is serious. And it doesn't have to happen all at once. It can happen. I think of it as being like this. I think of it like this. It was like this when they came in, and then it went down more and more. And pretty soon things were just not happening anymore. You couldn't find a doctor unless you were special. You couldn't go to school unless you were special. And there were fewer and fewer people who were special. We people here today might be special, but all the people out there might not be. And I think what we do not understand, this is serious, and it might not happen overnight, but it is happening little by little. I'm reminded of 1968. That was 1968. We came home to the United States and found an enormous outpouring against the war in Vietnam. And this feels a little bit like it now. But at that time, the people didn't understand how serious it was. But they kept fighting it, and we eventually did finally finish that war. So I think my main message is don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. Keep fighting. We've got to get out there. Everybody has to be joined. I sit next to people in a restaurant and say something, and they say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, I don't want to know that. It's too depressing." It's not too depressing. It's very depressing.
Yeah.
It's scary. So get out there and talk, and you don't have to argue. Just realize that speaking and understanding what's going on around you is changing everybody's life, and we want to stop that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you can't believe that you're still out here having to protest this bullshit, but we are very grateful for you. Up next, we've got another musical number from our Call to Singers.
No, I'm good. I want to see
Eat the microphone. Okay. Our next song is a newer song than the other songs. It was written by Melody DeMore when Trump got in the first time, and it happens still to be very, very relevant. We still need it. And the title of the song is Lead with Love, because as Dr. King said, darkness doesn't drive out darkness, only light can. Hate doesn't drive out hate, only love can. So reject the temptation to hate and lead with love. Now this song has got two lines in its chorus, and they're both the same, so it's easy to learn. The first half of the first line is put one step after the other. And that's the point that has already been made. This is a marathon, it is not a sprint. So, we're gonna put one foot after the other and lead with love. Then the chorus is, I just sing something and you repeat it after me. So, 1, 2, 3. You're gonna put one foot out of the other and lead with love. Push one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't you be scared. Don't you be scared. Well, I'm scared too. I'm scared too. But here I am. Right next to you. Right next to you. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Push one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Push one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Push one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Push one foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love. Lead with love. See y'all at the next.
Hello, friends and neighbors. My name is Aviva Orenstein. I teach law at IU, and like many of us, I'm scared for our democracy. I join you in outrage about the cruel and craven behavior of our leaders, all the way from our would-be king down to our imperious and tone-deaf university president. I am here today representing Jewish Voice for Peace Indiana, the largest Jewish anti-Zionist organization in the world. We advocate for the full freedom and human rights of Palestinians. That's right, a group of Jews, the fastest growing Jewish organization in America, supports Palestinian rights and imposes the murderous activities of the Israeli state. I myself am a dual American-Israeli citizen, a Jew, daughter of a rabbi, sister of a rabbi, who can read the Bible in the original. What I derive from my faith is the moral and spiritual imperative of empathy and righteous conduct. My Judaism commands that I remember that my people were once strangers. They were once slaves in the land of Egypt, and we owe it to ourselves and the world to use that collective experience as a moral guide and to side with the downtrodden. 85 years ago, the Jewish people were targets of Nazi racist genocide. The lesson from the Holocaust must be empathy and vigilance. Never again can a people, any people, be targeted or uprooted from their homes and starved to death en masse. Never again must be never again for everyone, including Palestinians. And I will let you know that it is particularly galling and painful for me that discrimination against Palestinians and the willingness to dehumanize and murder them is perpetrated in the name of protecting Jews or fighting anti-Semitism. Now, a Nazi salute by Elon Musk, that's anti-Semitic. Support for German neo-Nazi party by our vice president, that's also anti-Semitic. Caring about the tens of thousands of Palestinian children bombed, orphaned, rendered homeless, and maimed and killed, caring about those kids as a grandmother,
That's just decency, not anti-Semitism. Although my cause here today is the ongoing devastation in Gaza, we recognize and protest the parallels that all these urgent issues raise. Let's call out two creepy and dangerous commonalities. Number one, the first is that cruelty is the point. It is intentional. It is not an unfortunate byproduct of this administration's policy. Our would-be king and his sycophantic courtiers don't just dehumanize and torment Palestinians. They also dehumanize and torment immigrants, Medicare recipients, and disabled folks. The second commonality is the reliance on the big lie. Just as there is a big lie that criticism of the state of Israel is somehow anti-Semitic, there are other big lies that don't become true just because they are endlessly repeated. Protesters in LA over immigration or at IU in a peaceful encampment are not violent and should not trigger a militarized response. The beautiful canceled art of Samia Halaby, a Palestinian alumna of whom we should be proud, is not dangerous. And finally, the suppression of free speech of those who criticize Israel does not make Jews safer. In calling out the Trump administration and the administration of IU for discrimination against Palestinians, I would beseech, not in our name. Jewish Voice for Peace says, not in our name. Do not commit these wrongs. Today is another day that we failed to stop a genocide. What can you do? Well, I will give you two related action items, and you can go to our JVP table, Jewish Voice for Peace, for more information. Please sign up for our information. First, Jewish Voice for Peace Indiana asks you to call all our representatives and tell them that you are concerned about the starvation in Gaza and the cruel funding and acquiescence of the United States. This is on us. We are allowing it to happen. Two, ask Aaron Hochin to support H.R. 3565, co-sponsored by our own Hoosier Andre Carson, demanding that we stop providing bombs to Israel. We are begging you, as Jews, please don't pretend you are serving us. This is not in our name. And as Americans, I think we can all say, not in our name.
All right, thank you so much, Aviva. Another big part of battling the big lie is making sure that you are accessing and supporting local independent media. We've seen them here today. I've seen Dave Askins from the B Square Beacon walking around. You need to sign up for his newsletter. We've got Scott Rogers from Who's Left here. These are the people who are on the ground, know what's going on. They're not getting their information and their talking points from the top down. So make sure you're connecting with these local news organizations and stay informed, because the one thing they can't take from you is what you know.
Hey everybody, my name is Scott Aaron Rogers. I'm a blogger and podcaster with Who's Left, and I did not plan on speaking here today, but Chrissy asked me to say some words, and I'm sorry, I thought this was America. We don't do kings in America. We don't do tyrants in America. We tell kings and tyrants to pound sand. We don't do oligarchs and aristocrats in this country that own everything, including people. We had a war about this and we kicked their ass.
Yeah.
We don't do Nazis, we don't do fascists, we don't do tanks in American streets.
No.
We don't do snipers on roofs pointing at peaceful university students. This is America. We've always been imperfect. And yet, through all that, we were told this beautiful story about democracy. And it wasn't always fully true, but all of you, all of us believed it. And we're here to try and make it true. So when we are presented with a new mad king, a new fascist dictator, and a new pool of oligarchs, we tell them they can take all 900 pages of Project 2025, turn them sideways, and stick them where the sun don't shine. Thank you.
Sarah Owens, if you are here, we're ready to hear your voice. Sarah Owens, if you are here. All right.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I am ready to give you my voice. And I am so appreciative of everyone being here today to say no to this administration. We reject the concept of having a king. This is a democracy. And what we see today is democracy in action. My name is Sarah Owen. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator for Exodus Refugee Immigration here in Bloomington. We also are headquartered out of Indianapolis. I want to thank you for being here today. It is inspiring to see just how many of our community members are willing to stand up and speak out against the injustices being done by our government across immigrant communities all across this country. It has been roughly 5 months since Trump took office, and in that time, he has brought about a campaign of disappearances, deportations, and dehumanization unlike anything most of us have seen in our lifetimes here in the US. Let's be very clear about it. This is so much worse than the first Trump administration. They have become so much more direct and creative in their cruelty. Whether it's banning travelers from war-torn nations with a travel ban that was implemented earlier this week, or arresting lawful permanent residents, known to many as green card holders, for appropriately condemning the genocide against Palestinians, or manufacturing a war zone in LA. This president's immigration policies are moral catastrophes. And while our national security is important, the travel ban that went into effect at the start of this week does not make us any safer. This ban is rooted in hate, with cherry-picked statistics about visa overstays to keep the Supreme Court happy if it should reach their hands. But folks who overstay their visas often do so for very good reasons. Because their countries have corrupt governments like Venezuela, or are failed state ganglands like Haiti, or are spiraling further into civil